Good afternoon, everyone. Welcome to MaryAnne's Mystic Mentions. I'm MaryAnne. Welcome to your daily Sun Sign Love Connections for today. Wow, I feel so good today. Yesterday, I lit the New Moon Intentions candle for the beautiful new moon eclipse in Gemini. And I woke up yesterday with this feeling like I had a blanket on my brain. I don't even know how else to explain it. It was like a hangover without having had anything to drink, alcohol wise, and just like, whoo, tried to push through, did a reading, did my clients, did what I needed to do, got out and did some other things, but it just never quite went away. And interestingly enough, I had just watched this really wonderful webinar on YouTube with an amazing, beautiful astrologist, Pamela Gregory, and she had this guy on, and I'm feeling really bad right now because I had not seen this. They collaborated, and this guy is amazing in himself, and they were talking about the influences that happen physically as well as mentally and spiritually as far as these eclipses and a lot of other very strong influences that are happening this year, falling off of last year's and then the continuum. So it's always interesting to me. And if you get a chance, Pamela Gregora, I apologize. We're still very much in our Mercury retrograde. And every day I come up with some new saying or word. You have to laugh. I do though. I do make an effort to not let that happen. But the more you make that effort, the more it's not going to work, right? Anyway, very interesting. And then here I wake up because these energies are working through us. We're very fragile beings, and I can't even imagine sometimes how we do survive the elements, to be quite honest, but I digress. So welcome to your Sun Sign Love Connection readings. Welcome to the featured sun sign today of the beautiful grounded pentacle or coin element of Capricorn. So yeah, we're almost at the end of the first half of the month readings. I do one a day for two sun signs, the featured, and so that you know what order I'm going in. For those that are new, welcome to my channel. I appreciate you stopping in very much. Those returning, I love you and appreciate your support so very much. It gets me going. It makes me want to come in this room every day for you. And so let's pick your highlighted connection that Spirit wants you to know specific things about, where I'll read the three major categories for you, okay? So this would be Capricorn as the featured. And I take my deep breaths and ask Spirit to find the best guidance possible for this particular reading for today, which is June 11th, 2021. And you have Scorpio. I'm just going to say this. It's just been a predominance of water highlighted signs this month and even last month. And it makes sense. So I'm working with it. I love it. I love earth and I love water as compatibility and, the harmonization that goes on. It works really well. I see these compatible signs together all the time. My love connection readings are for committed relationships, but also friendships, family, associates at work, friends, anything that you feel driven to or connected to that has to do with these elements is perfectly good in my readings or in my opinion. So yeah, you don't have to be feeling like, well, wait a minute, I don't have a relationship per se, but there's so many relationships, and this is a beautiful one. It always, I see it all the time, and there's really good reasons. The earth element of you, Capricorn, you are a cardinal sign, so you actually initiate the season of winter, because all cardinal signs, there are 4, represent each season. And we're about to go into the beautiful cardinal sign season of Cancer, who represents the solstice of summer, the summer solstice. So it's exciting. And I remember last year's like yesterday, because I adopted my kitten on June 17th. We were in the middle of 3 eclipses last year, and it was just about to be the beautiful summer solstice eclipse. And it was, very important time last year, wasn't it? So yeah, we're resonating and feeling a lot of those energies even now, but the eclipses will last 6 months and onward. So the newness of yesterday's eclipse is so important and so powerful. And I know that, as a cardinal sign, Capricorn, You're about initiating, you're about keeping busy and making things happen. And the other thing about you, Capricorn, and other earth signs is that you're in it to win it. You're all about success. You love material things and what money can buy you. You work darn hard for it, and you want to reap the benefits, and you want to see, feel, and touch them. You know, it's really that simple. You're very grounded, you're very reliable, you're very resourceful, you are dedicated and steadfast and loyal, and you work extremely hard. And you have this very, very deep ability and understanding to focus with your ruling planet being Saturn, for heaven's sakes, the taskmaster. So there's this kind of solemn, almost serious, you know, energy around you a lot of times, and people think you're, you know, maybe not friendly or, you know, aloof or, you know, just kind of more of an introvert, which in a way is, you are more of an introvert a lot of times. But really it's just that you're very focused, and it's a beautiful gift. Like, I wish I had your focus a lot of times. I really do, especially yesterday. I was working so hard at it, but that feeling that I was trying to describe was just so potent. And it flushed through me, though. It felt like a breath of fresh air this morning. And it felt as right as rain, and I pray for rain, but that's an expression, you know. So yeah, you have a lot of potential. You usually amass a great amount of wealth. You really do. And, you know, you're tried and true. You do tend to stick to the same routines, and, you know, once again, people can rely on you for that. You know, you're a steadfast person, friend, associate, you know, romantic partner. And then you have this water highlighted connection of Scorpio. Ooh, that's intensity, that's water, that's emotion. And, you know, sometimes your emotions are hidden because you're so into what you're doing, and you're so fixated on the work and the, you know, the ability to create and to grow things, right? But this Scorpio energy that comes through, it's like it's an expression in itself of creativity to the fullest amount, and it's heart-centered, it's vulnerable and sensual, and it feels good. And, you know, you like getting your feet right in that ground and planting those plants and, you know, touching earth and getting into nature a lot too. So there's that kind of really nice simpatical energy that goes on with the two of you. You know, the whole analogy of, you plant a seed, you put it in the ground, and you put the water to actually make it grow. The two combined is what really helps it. So you help each other, and you help each other to keep that creativity going and to change each other's points of views, because you're quite different in your approach and outlook at life in a lot of ways, but at the same time similar. You know, Scorpio is the fixed sign of all the water signs, so very determined like you. When they put their mind to something, there's nothing stopping them. They are ruled by Pluto, which is one of the more serious and hardcore, you know, let's transform and get the things that we need in our life by getting rid of the other things and being really honest with ourselves about just how we can improve, you know. And by the way, the tarot card that symbolizes Capricorn is that of the devil. And people like think, oh, the devil. Well, the devil in the details, first of all, because you are all about the details, and you will work hard, and you will toil, and you will you'll be aware of your vices and your, you know, maybe what you would consider shortcomings, so that you can overcome them and be best at what you do to better yourself in the best, most possible way, and those around you in the process, right? Because what we do and what we feel and what we give out to the world will definitely be felt. We've obviously learned that in this last year with the conscious, you know, element of life, and how we all rippled through all of us in the entire world last year. We all were feeling and affected on a very similar level in some capacities because of last year. So that was a once in a lifetime thing. You'll never probably have that particular, let's pray anyway, type of thing like that. But it was also what brought us together and made it really realize we are all one. We're in this together, you know. So I digress, I know, but there's so much to say, and I just want to get the main points, and that is that, you know, Scorpio is a fixed sign. They are very, very, very interested in their feelings. They're kind of raw when it comes to that. They're originally ruled by Mars, so there's this fiery kind of temperament about them. You know, they can come across a little intense and maybe dark at times. You know, and, you know, very matter of fact. You know, they what you see is what you get. And I believe that to be of you too, Capricorn. The earth signs are very authentic, and they say what they mean and mean what they say. And that's a great thing, really, because it's real. And that attracts the two of you. And then there's this, hidden part of you that a lot of people don't see, Capricorn, that's very much about love and cares deeply for people. And the Scorpio can sense that in you, because they're very psychic and very in tune with people's feelings, and they pick up on them, and they can get into the deeper parts of your soul and your mind and your psyche. And sometimes it's freaky, right? And you're like, oh, but you love it. You definitely love it. And, Scorpios are in for the long term like you are. So when there's a connection that works, and it's not immediate, not with these two, generally, these two elements, Scorpio and Capricorn, but when it does work and you give it the test of time, it's a long-term relationship. And I've seen this very many times and have close friends that have been these two sun signs, and they just make it work, and yet different in so many ways. I don't know. It's amazing how opposites do attract, because they learn things from each other. But I do feel like this is a good time. I feel like this new moon, like for everybody, and certainly the full moon eclipse, because it always goes in pairs, is really going to open up your eyes and mind and soul to start something new that you've wanted to, and certainly having been delayed from last year. Mind you, it's not best to do that in the first couple of weeks right after the new moon eclipse. Certainly not during a retrograde, because we're in both of them. We're in both of those energies. And it is in Gemini, who's very much a mutable and changeable kind of sign. So, they're all around, they're communicating, they're speaking, they're using their minds to create their manifestations and their words and their ways to connect. And they're mercurial, that's how they're ruling planet, and that's in retrograde. So it slows down these ideas and things, and there's delays, and there's, unexpected changes and that sort of thing. But that's through the 22nd. So before we know it, that'll be done. And you're just going full tilt ahead. So I hope you wrote down those intentions for yourself. And I'm going to read the 3 major categories for the 2 of you. And it usually covers a lot of the questions that people will ask. And mind you, after I've read these 3 categories for the highlighted connection, I do have the 2 oracles. So stick around if it's not you're not necessarily understanding this connection yet, Capricorn, because those retrogrades bring people back into your life, or the eclipses certainly bring new people in. So this could happen just out of the blue, like just all of a sudden you meet someone, and next thing you know, you're living, or you're married, or you're in a business that changed your life entirely. I mean, that's how powerful it can be. Just be open, of course, always to that. I have to say before I do read the connections, reading that we do have Jupiter in the sign of Pisces. So that's what I was starting to say at the beginning. There's so many water highlighted connection readings for this month, because that Jupiter is affecting all of us. And Pisces is all about our love, all about our compassion, all about our creativity and artistry and ability to change and mutate as well. They are a mutated sign, or what am I trying? Gemini, Virgo, and Pisces are mutable. So they can change and mutate, and they can, they can be like chameleons, and they're one way one day, and they're like change their form, and they're shape changers, and people look at them and go, who is this person? Well, they're very, very susceptible to things, and they're very easily influenced. And so, that's, it could be good, but you got to be careful and protect yourself and make sure those boundaries are there. But Jupiter in that sign is beautiful, and it's healing, and it's love to the fullest. So a lot of the relationships are starting to feel more connected, and then it could be the beginning of a new level of your relationship if you have been in a relationship for a really long time. So I love it. It's exciting, and it keeps coming through to show and to share with everybody, because Spirit will do that. It'll repeat things so until people realize and understand there is truth to this. Whether you see it or not, it is actually happening. And that's why I'm here for you. I love bringing forth the messages and being the conduit for this, because Spirit's always worked for me for my highest good, and I believe that's the case for all of you watching. So the overall energy for the first card category for the 2 of this beautiful highlighted Capricorn Scorpio message is the Page of Wands. Ooh, baby, there's that fire. That's the Sagittarius full moon. The Page is the beginning. The Page is initiating ideas, opportunities, the fire, the physical spirited kind of thing that you have to push through. You have to make it happen. You have to have that passion. And when it's Page, like I said, it's new. It could be just be beginning. It could be a younger person. It could involve wanting to start the family that you have talked about all this time, that other level I mentioned in your relationship with this incredible, loving, healing, passionate energy of Jupiter that expands everything. And Pisces being the sign that just wants to love and nurture and care, and they're selfless and impressionable was the word I was seeking a little while ago. But oh yeah, so something really important, and a message is coming through, as they are messengers, about a possible work, idea, or new job opportunity, or something you're going to start on your own. And then you're working together with this, connection you have, this highlighted connection. You're sharing it. You want to share the wealth. You want to share the ideas, and get motivated and going. You've got this powerful energy going with you, and I don't see you sitting back at all. But I do want to say, like I said, wait if you can. Not everybody can, and life still goes on. Trust me. But you want to wait maybe till after the retrograde, which is the 22nd. And then really push it forward, but do look into the details now, and the fine-tuning and the contracts, and reread them and make sure that they make sense. Take them to people that can help you to make sure that they're legal and everything's above board. But yeah, this is inspiring. This is exactly what that kind of energy that the eclipses will bring to you. And these two work extremely well together, the Sagittarius polarity and the Gemini. It's lively, and it's truth-seeking, and truth gets revealed, and you want to better yourself and your mind, and the way that you speak, and the way that you treat people. In your education, you want to know more and learn more, and know that you're worthy of being able to be in a different level, whatever that means to you. And you're feeling that confidence when the fire signs are involved. It's a real confident builder, and optimistic, because Sagittarius is ruled by Jupiter. So the world is your oyster, basically. So let's see what the possible blessings or obstacle card has to say in the second category for you. And that, the High Priestess, the card that represents Pisces, Jupiter and Pisces. Now this is a little special thing, because Jupiter's been in Aquarius, and it's making this pit stop that started on May 13th through July 28th. And just to give you a preview, because then it goes back in Aquarius until December 28th and goes into Pisces for the predominance of next year. So giving you a feeling of what it feels like to have Jupiter, its natural placement in Pisces, and really bringing forth the love of that feeling of love and compassion. Like a lot of people have been so in their mind, or maybe in their body, and maybe their bodies have not been feeling good. And Pisces is there to magically and beautifully just kind of heal that after a long period of time, and to make you have great self-respect and love for each other, and self-acceptance, and to share that love with others. It's a lot about other people though too. It's not about just yourself when it's Pisces. So I feel a real sense of connection with people more now, and you've got that new moon in the background. So there's a lot of beautiful synchronistic messages coming through that are very powerful, enlightening, and optimistic. And that just tells us that we have our higher power with us at all times to co-create. And this is a major arcana saying, listen to it, believe in it. It's magic. It's the real magic. And never doubt yourself. When you hear those small little, voices or little prompts or gut feelings, those are there to help. If they feel uncomfortable, that's not what I'm talking. It's not your higher power. It's fear, disguised as, your major, beautiful, intuitive aspect, which, Scorpio, you have that down, and you can really help others with that gift. And I think a lot of you do. And I think you're helping this beautiful Capricorn who's open to it and willing, because they love you. And the final category is that of finances, because yeah, Capricorn, you know you love finances, and you know that you work hard to deserve it, and you get them, and you make sure that you are comfortable in the process, and everybody around you, and those that you hold near and dear. And when you do hold someone near and dear, it's a lifetime thing, like I said. Yeah, you're the real deal. It's beautiful. Let us see what messages are coming through for you in the financial department, which is, you know, an energy. And it doesn't have to be money, as I say all the time. It can definitely be the wealth and how you're doing in your relationship. Honestly, I don't even know what to say. The Eight of Pentacles. It's so appropriate for you. It is who you are. It is you in your energy. It is the mastering. Well, actually, this is just the building upon your mastery. The Three of Pentacles is actually the card that represents mastery, and it's usually somebody fine-tuning their work and, you know, being very detail-oriented, like I mentioned, you know, with the devil in the details, and just perfecting it to where it's going to be noticed, and it'll get the notoriety, and it'll get the money that needs to come from it being well enough and received well enough. And then it just keeps going with the Eight. And then that becomes more of a mastery and more magical. These are the two mastery cards. It's just building up from the Three, you know, and making sure you're really keeping your eye on the prize, which I think you do exceptionally well anyway, Capricorn. But there are distractions and things that come in with these planet, you know, influences that we feel and we're not sure what it is. Just ground yourself that you do so well. Make sure you have an opportunity to stay still and to listen to messages and to ask for guidance, and to believe that if you're not feeling 100, like yesterday, it was just, I couldn't even put my finger on what I was feeling. And just knowing it will, this too will pass, and it did, and it does. And then keep on trucking. And you know how that is anyway. You're very, very, very good at yeah, being reliable and steadfast in anything that you do. So this is beautiful, beautiful messages for you. And you've got a nice combination. You've got the major arcana, which is our inner intuitive, you know, internal, which happens a lot with retrogrades. We tend to go inward. That's what they're about. It's not as much exterior, but it's like, okay, I've seen what's happening in there, and now I need to go inside and decide what is that going to mean for me specifically, and what can I do, and how does that make me feel, and so forth. We all need time for that. And we're better for others when we do that. And then you've got the beautiful fire element, and you've got your own, you know, wonderful coins, Eight of Coins. And I just realized the Pisces is the water sign, which is what Scorpio is. So this is a very, very beautiful synchronistic reading. And I'm going to finish it with the beautiful rune that I use, like I say, like the cherry on the top of the sundae. And it's a message. It's an absolute meaning that can be very, very, very appropriate to what the reading is. And yours looks like, I always call this like that, what is it when you'd have the sand going through these little clocks, you know, and you turn it around? That's what it reminds me of. It looks like an X, but it reminds me of those little sand clocks. Let me read to you specifically what the messages are, and what the meaning is, and the name of the rune. So from my little cheat sheet here, we have, that represents the sign, oh, I have it wrong. It's actually like a bow. And I always like to put it in the second category, possible blessings or obstacles. Well, this is the High Priestess. This is you. This is you in your finest ability to create and manifest and just totally be one with this wonderful consciousness and unity of life, you know? And allow all the beautiful things, allow all the magic in, and trust and believe it. So it is number 24, which equals 6 in numerology. And 6 is about balance and temperance, you know, and that's the card that represents Sagittarius. And we need that with this duality and this kind of fast energy with the season of Gemini. Because they're all really very quick and minded, and you're just like, oh, sometimes it's hard to keep up, and sometimes you need to take a breath. Because there's so many options, right? And you just have to be still and just kind of help to balance out your body, your internal and your external world at the same time. The words associated with this, though, is, for 24, I'm sorry, did I say 24? I did. The name is Dagaz, D-A-G-A-Z. I hope I'm not butchering that. And what it represents is day. That is the word analogy to the actual rune. And the time frame is between June 14th and June 28th. So we're like in that time frame right now. How perfect is that? Thank you again, Spirit, and wonderful runes that just have the wisdom and the knowledge and the help to kind of bring that impetus in our lives and to say, this is what we're trying to tell you. If you want to listen, and here we go. It's so perfect. The words associated are light, change, beginning, new cycle, fortune, marriage. I like the marriage, that next level in your relationship we talked about. And intrigue is thwarted, okay? Intrigue is a waste of time. It is an energy, and it's gossip, and it's hearsay, and it's exterior energies you don't need. You want to push those away. You want to get rid of those. And it's saying that this rune can give you that extra protection for that. And these are runes that are with the beautiful amethyst crystals. So, I mean, that's all about protection and warding off the toxic energies and protecting you and healing you, as the Pisces energy is very prominent and fruitful right now for us. Wow. I love that, Capricorn and Scorpio. So I hope you feel that right now, but give it some time, okay? And if you aren't 100% sure and you're not sure about this connection, Capricorn, you may be finding something out by these eclipses, because they do last quite a while. It doesn't have to happen on the day of it, of course. And also, you could be having that feeling, that depth of your soul and your spirit that's really coming to the forefront for you, you know? And like I said, it's kind of intertwined with you as an earth sign, because you believe in the natural things of life, and you do love nature, and you know how that can be so healing, especially when you're caught up in your work all the time, to take the time and be with somebody you care for, you know, or alone, and just be in nature and listen and smell the smells that are fresh, and kind of cleanse yourself of it, you know, basically. So I'm going to read the two oracles in closing. And the first one is the beautiful Psychic Tarot for the Heart. And this is by John Holland. It's one of my favorite decks. And what am I doing here? Okay, I want to make sure I'm, okay. And I'm going to shake it up a little more and shuffle it up a bit. I did a few readings recently. So, you have a special message coming for you, though, for every single Capricorn and every one of your connections, in addition to and over and above the Scorpio highlighted connection now. So everybody gets a reading and a message in my readings. So your particular beautiful message is trust. Oh yeah, this is like the Fool. This is the zero. This is the beginning. This is the epitome. It almost reminds me of the High Priestess, to be honest, because there's the same kind of body language of just releasing and allowing and trusting completely. Like you take over the wheel, right? You just, I'm letting it happen. I mean, to do that alone and to surrender like that, that is not an easy task. If you've ever attempted it fully, because I do it a lot, but not as much as I would like to sometimes. But when you do, and you're on your knees or whatever it is, and you're just like, I completely trust in you. In fact, you can have it all at this point. I'm with you, and I'm open to whatever. That's the Fool. And it's amazing what comes from that when you do allow that kind of trust. It's like none other, and it's also very freeing to do so as well. And that's hard. A lot of people like myself, I have control things going on. I have to be in charge of everything. I'm an independent person. I run my own business. I have to just, and sometimes I'm like, I don't want to right now. I'll just let it go and see what happens. See where the spaghetti sticks, right, on the wall, for an example. I've heard people use that as an example. It's a good example. Let it be, que sera, sera. So yeah, that's a major arcana as well, by the way. It's bordered in the black, and it is 0, so trust. Leap, dare, innocence, optimism, belief, and courage. Rejoice, the universe is looking out for you. Now it's time to trust that the path you're on is in fact the right one. Believe that whatever you desire concerning affairs of the heart can be manifested in the proper time and for your highest good. Trusting the universe takes courage, but it also removes the burden of doing it all on your own. I was just saying that. Honestly, it makes sense, right? It just feels good. When you feel alone in a situation, it can diminish your energy and desire to take actions that will improve the situation. This card reminds you that you are not alone. I know, I feel lonely too sometimes, and of course we're not alone. Just step outside and look up in the sky there. Never alone. And I also have a cat. So that's a reminder that positive energy is available to you to manifest what you truly desire. And if it's not been positive for you now, I don't know what will be, because everything is amazingly positive. And I want to also say that Mars went into Leo. So that's all about our strength and our courage and our friends and our friendliness and socializing and being seen and like, yeah, that's right. It's all this, right? And feeling really, really good. That's the beautiful energies that are around us right now. I'm going to tap into that. I hope you will as well. And I'm going to finish your reading by asking, if you have not subscribed, to please push that subscribe button and like button for me. I know you probably hear it when you go to every single channel. I know I do, and I do it for them because it's like following them, and it helps YouTube to help us, and then we can continue with our content and keep growing the channel and so forth. And it just takes a moment, and I feel bad sometimes. I will go back because I will enjoy very much what I'm listening to, and then I forget that I didn't like it or something. And I want them to know for the trouble or the efforts that they're doing, which of course I wouldn't do this if I didn't want to. I love doing this. But it is a way to show me that you do care and that you like it. And then you can comment too, and I will always respond. So that would be beautiful. And that's my little spiel, but I honestly do appreciate it very much from the bottom of my heart. And so I'm going to finish with your super attractive manifestation message. Beautiful Capricorns. And all of your beautiful connections. This is like a mantra to hold and to think about and to feel and to just say over and over. And it brings that beautiful good feeling into your body, and then the good feeling spills out into the world, and then that's what comes back. You know, what you give, you receive. And that's always good to remember. Manifesting is the creative process of aligning with the energy of the universe to co-create an experience that elevates my spirit and the spirit of the world. And I have to tell you that when we think positively and wish others well and send out love and send out healing energy, I'm a Reiki master practitioner, I send out healing energy, distant healing energy. The side effect is just that you're one with everything, and it does affect you, and it can only be a positive thing. So it's a win-win. Look at this beautiful, beautiful card though. You've got the purples and the third eye and the intention and the intuition once again coming through and really helping to create your world, your life, materialize what it is you truly want. And the second chakra of the passion and energy and drive and sensuality, which, that's a big part of life too, isn't it? The intimacy, things we miss so much right now, a lot of us. So that's for you. The reading is for you. I hope that you truly like it. Come back for your mid-month reading, because I'll be here for you by hook or by crook, and maybe a day or so later because of who knows what. But I'm going to keep going at it because it's what I love. It's my passion. So take care. Have a beautiful weekend ahead. And until next time, bye for now.